And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Live Intentionally. Today we have Zishan with us, money and empowerment coach. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me,
How-
and I'm looking forward to the show. Let's see how can we help and inspire other people today.
Yes, let's do that. So, Zishan, you are a money and empowerment coach. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey? How did your journey started as a coach? Why money and empowerment coach?
So it's to do with my personal journey pretty much. So I live with a with an abundance mindset. Which believes there's always enough money around to to do. Oh,
Did
sorry.
you understand myself?
There's an echo, isn't it? Let me
Yeah.
let me turn the volume down. Right. Um, yes. Where was I? So I live by the abundance mindset of there's always enough money around to do things and also to give for it to come back. So my belief has always been the money. I am just a vessel for the money to go where it needs to go. Right. It's never mine 100%. I will get to keep the one that belongs to me after I have done everything that the money is supposed to be done. So that includes bill, charities, giving it to friends and families, everything. And then what is left is what I live on pretty much. Um, but that comes by me, not living in that scarcity mindset of, okay, that there's never enough. What do I need to get more? What do I need to get more? Because when does that more stop? That more never stops, right? So I use this very basic example every time of like a chicken. So right, when you want to grab that chicken and you are trying to run after it, that's how money is. When you're trying to grab that money for yourself and you're running after it, is running away from you. So you have to like go over these, work very hard to get it, right? And
Yeah.
that's what the scarcity mindset is for, where people are usually in, because they are running and chasing it, and then when you're running and chasing it, it's like cats and chicken. They run away from you. They never come to you, right? So
But
you
I'm
will decide
curious,
when it's your time.
did you always have this abundance mindset, or was that something that you had to practice?
Um, I would say I was fortunate to develop that at a very young age,
Wow.
because people around me had businesses. So my uncle had a shop where he allowed me to hang out quite often, and I used to see how he's trading and how he's doing things. And I started having a little stand outside his shop for with my stuff to sell to friends. It'd be like juice cartons and crisps and things like that, which they won't be able to go to the big shops for, or were a bit expensive, but I can give them on a discounted price because I've just got a wholesaler and I'm not really making profit out of it. I'm just like, yeah, enjoying the fun. But yeah, so the mindset developed from there, because then I start seeing the value of money in terms of when I was earning by just having that fun.
Yeah.
But I never chased it, because then I would be like, okay, what do I need to do next to get it? And that's how I looked at it. Right, instead of right, I don't have enough money. How can I get more money? And that's where the scarcity comes in, because you would never have enough money. There's always something more that you need.
Absolutely. No, it's so funny that you tell that story when we were here, because I think business owners or entrepreneurs always have these little clues when they are young. There's always stories of some kind. We start to sell things. I remember selling leather bracelets in school. I have many brothers and sisters. I don't remember. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't remember any of them having stories of selling stuff. But I remember making my own stuff and just so it's
Yeah,
so funny those stories.
Yeah, exactly. So the business owners and entrepreneurs, exactly as you said, they have these stories, and the reason they have these stories from a young age is because they straight away connected to it, right? So their mind is is connected that way. That's how they're wired up. So if it was an ordinary person who's not very entrepreneurial and anything, at a very young age, do end up selling something in school or class, but they might not have that story when they're older just because they never connected to it. They will still want to go into 9 to 5 jobs, just live the default life and not design what they want to get as well. Nothing wrong with that. It's okay.
Yeah.
But obviously entrepreneurs are the ones who want more from life, and it's possible to get that as well. It's not that difficult to get what you can get. It's out there. If you are in that abundance mindset of right, you can get this. It's all about changing that mindset, and that comes from as early as possible. But then um, for a child, if it's naturally there, it's great. But when they become adults and they start to now teach themselves, then it becomes a little bit harder. So I'm a massive advocate of teaching children as early as possible about becoming entrepreneurs, because at this age, when they are 10 onwards, they have all these ideas. They want to sell this, make this, and all that stuff, and now they're becoming influencers as well on YouTube and Instagram at the age of like 15, and have so many followers and have big influences. So if there is a right parent behind all this, they can, it's that's the time when you nourish it,
Yes.
and
How
and
do
they know it.
so you are obviously passionate about helping young entrepreneurs, young kids to become entrepreneurs and explore those ideas. How did you become interested in helping young kids?
So I have a daughter of 12 years old,
Yeah.
and I've introduced her into it as well because she's always full of ideas. So we'll be in a restaurant, and she'll be like, oh, she'll come up with ideas. Oh, mommy, you can cook, and I'll be the manager, and daddy can be the waiter, and all that stuff. So I always get the bad roles anyway. So like nothing wrong with being a waiter. I'm like, but why am I the waiter? But that's a different story then. But so she'll have those ideas.
I know why. Because you're very good with people.
Probably, she knows something I don't. I don't know. But she has all these ideas from very young age. Like I would say age 6 onwards, she will be like, coming up with these ideas. When we'll have house parties, there'll be lots of food everywhere. So she will go, oh, we could have done this as we can open a restaurant with this food, and people can come around, and we can sell this. And oh, okay, that's good. So I've been listening into what the ideas are, because a lot of kids do this. But what happens is, because parents are busy and everything, they say, oh yeah, very wonderful, great idea, that's fantastic, it'd be great. But then that just gets shelved after that, and then nothing happens to it. And then the life takes over, kids forget about it, and they get distracted and start doing other things. But what I did was I honed on to those ideas and kept nurturing it every time. So I think there was a time she went through a phase of trying my wife's shoes and everything. She doesn't fit into it, but she's walking around on it, and so because I've filmed a lot, and so I'll film her, and she will be like, yeah. So she'll start talking, describing the shoes, and doing the runway stuff. So I'm encouraging those things, because those are all part of being an entrepreneur, to try different things. And then the ideas keep coming, and now at the end, by the age of 12, she decided to do lip balms, and I think she also did some scrubs, body scrubs as well, and candles. Yes, so she done
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
as well. Um, and that's how we started. We're like, okay, so why not take it to your school and see which of your friends want it? Some of the friends bought it. We're like, oh, that's fantastic. So when we saw some interest, she wanted to do more. Luckily, it was Christmas time. We ended up joining the school Christmas fair. We had a stand, and guess how? She only invested £20 for that thing, as to buy the products and make it. And guess how much she got her return on that investment?
She made, I don't know.
Her return after paying, taking out the deductions, everything that we're supposed to pay, she earned £300 from
Wow.
from that. So £20 for just having buying the products
I got
of making the stuff,
That's
and we paid £10 for the stand at the school. So £30 taken away, and she had £300 as her profit, and she was so happy about it. And then that's why we like, okay, shall we upscale it? And she's upscaling that, and now it's changing into a bit more environmental friendly because she's now becoming a mature young lady into teen. Now she's going to be 13 in this October, so she's becoming concerned with the environment, and she is on a mission to save the bees. And because she's come across research where if the bees die off completely, the planet Earth has only 4 years. The humans will only live for 4 years, pretty much. The humans will die off because there'll be no food.
It's a very inspiring story and journey. It's amazing to see her on her journey. Guys, if you are watching live and if you have any questions about money, empowerment, spirituality even, for either Zishan or myself, write and comment below.
I'm just trying to say, do I get to see comments? I'm not seeing any comments, right?
Oh. Shilpa says hi, but I think it's on the person on the other.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Very nice appreciation from my mom as well. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not able to see comments. So yeah, thank you for whoever's joined. Thank you very much. And
there's a comment here. Okay.
I'm gonna make. I want to see if I can see something. Oh, okay. Yes, we can see it. That's good. That's good. Okay.
So you were sharing about your journey and how you became empowerment and money coach. So after having that experience as a child, we seeing lots of member of your families having business and how it works. Then what happens? What happened for you?
So that was a very young age. I think I believe I was same age as my daughter at 12 or 13 years old that time. Anyway. But as life moves on, you follow what your parents are saying. You carry on with your school, your college, and you get a job and everything. So all that came along. But that early education that I had from the having those stands for myself gave me an idea of how to handle money. And when is gone is gone. So that gave me that sense of really understanding the value of it and not to be scared of losing it. So if it's gone, it's gone. It will come back again because all I do was have the stand again, right? And I have the money, and that's how it was. Then doing some work, and I've been around corporate world quite often as well. I had quite big clients that I've managed as well. So that's where the empowerment comes in from. Is in terms of so it was very stressful role. There are high targets to achieve, sales targets to achieve, and the environment was like go, 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 right? So if you don't have that drive, which sometimes you feel like you don't have because you're burning out at the end because you always go, 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 and on your days off you're anxious as well because you have to be on your phone. Keep your phone with you, work phone. You've got the work phone, even though it's your day off, it's a weekend, you're with your family, but you still keeping an eye on your work phone. That's how I was at one point, and the colleagues around me as well. Which then, I have to work on my own mindset for that, to make myself stronger and get through it. I took time out of work. I took 2 months off to do this. I did a total detox in terms of digital detox, which was I went off of everything. So the only people who would get through my phone was my family members. Everybody else was just blocked. Everything was blocked. So 2 months detox, I did that. And whilst I was doing this, that's when the empowerment side of things came to me in terms of, because I was enriching myself with audiobooks and things. Um, like
And did you had a coach at that time?
I didn't have a coach, a direct coach to me, but I was following quite a few people. So Master, for example, Chibaria as well. I was following those people at that time, so I was listening to those. I was following Tony Robbins as well, Gary Vee. So I'm following those people. So I'm a very quick learner. So in terms of it embeds very quick, and then I can, once I need to take an action on it, it happens. So for me, it was great to do this. Although I am with a mentor now to guide me on my journey now, because as I am now developing myself as a money and empowerment coach, I do need that guidance. So yes, mentor and coach is always needed for those things, because we can't do everything. Yeah, we can't do everything. We need that guidance. I also say that no matter how good you are at the sport, you still need the coach to tell you what to do anyway, because you need that guidance, because he's looking or he or she is looking at you from outside the box. Well, when you're in, you don't have that picture, you don't have that view, and you'll make those mistakes. So it's good to know somebody who can stop you from making those mistakes and avoid you, and then shoot it, catapult your career forward.
And I think people, I think, are confused about why should they have a coach, and when to get help from the coach. Can you clarify that? What would be your response if someone asks you that? What do you usually respond to that?
So now, how I see these coaches and mentors, even though we are one of those, is the other person has to be ready for it, right? They need to know that they are ready to level up, and this is where we come in. If they are not ready to level up, no matter how many coaches they go for and they look for, they're never going to level up, and then they give the coaches a bad name for it. But it's not the coaches' fault. In terms of so now they're ready to go to the next level, right? So I'll use the example of football, right? So everybody in UK is a football fan, so I'll use the example of football. So when you are a player, and you play whichever field that is, and you can do that all your life, and just earn the money that you get, or you can get your name higher and work with the coach properly. So that's what they do. So those players who you hear and recognize everywhere and know the name, why you don't know the rest of the team? You only know few people in that team. The reason is because they were ready to level up, and they have a coach which teaches them after hours, in terms of after their training is done, they are still with that coach when everybody else has gone home. So when the people are ready for that, that's when the coach comes in and helps you and guides you to take the best version of your next step.
I've heard this from my coach, that you I don't know exactly her word, but kind of, when the pain is so much, that's when you take action. Unfortunately, most of us wait for the moment where the pain is so big that you kind of are desperate. I wouldn't advise that, though. I would advise that you seek. For me, coaches kind of can see maybe as not so much a friend, but someone that can really hold space for you and listen without trying to fix you. And I think that's a really important thing, because many times we just need someone to be there and listen and ask the right questions. Because maybe it's not, I think, or at least this is my experience, if it's physical, like for example, how would I get a coach for a personal trainer? Okay, that's easy because it will push me to do certain things. But when it's in terms of changing the way I see things or habits, I think, at least for me before, if I look back, I couldn't see the value of that. because I would think I can do this. I certainly, why would I need someone? I can do this. I can read a few books. But even reading a few books, you need to implement them. And I think there's also when the coach can help you with that.
No, I agree 100%. And that's what I meant by, for these coaches, and that's what it is. You can, exactly I was saying, when I took that time off to detox, even though I was still plugged into connect, learning and everything, you still need to know, you have all this knowledge, but you don't know how to implement it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a race driver, but you don't have a race track, you're never gonna race then, right? So you're like, oh yeah, I know how to race and I've learned it and everything, but you don't have a race car and you don't have a track. And how do you now go about getting that? You then probably need to find out, and there might be a coach who will guide you through it, or another, a racer who's already doing it. You then approach to become their, get them to mentor you, so they become your coach, right? To do the next step. And this is what I mean by leveling up, because now you're ready to level up, because you now know, okay, I've got this wealth of knowledge, but I need to know what to do with this. I need to develop it. I need to go for it. Because I've been also a musician, so I play guitar and I do a lot of creative stuff and photography as well. At one point, I had to, for photography especially, I had to get a coach for my photography, even though I'm self-taught on music as well and photography. But at one time, I had to take a coach and mentor for my photography, and that was pretty much another person that I aspired to be. How he was doing his thing, and I was like, "All right, can you take me under your wing? You don't have to pay me anything. I'll just go with you to your photo shoots and everything, and understand what you do, how what you're doing after, to understand the logistics side of things. You have the knowledge, but you don't know the logistics."
Exactly. What I find really interesting about you, Zishan, is that as a entrepreneur, you have a lot of other skills and interests, which I find really interesting because in my previous idea, someone who was related with business would be probably just focused on the business, but you are related to arts, creativity, spirituality, and I think that's super amazing. So I can see how you can bring all of these things into your coaching sessions with your clients. So in terms of money, how can someone feel empowered around money, or is money a important factor for you to feel empowered?
So this is where we work on the mindset around money as well. Because a lot of to do is the conditioning that you would have had when you were growing up. So around family, friends, how the conversations were all the time around money. So if you were always told that money is a root cause of evil, when you were young, or when you were asking for stuff and your parents just went, "Oh yeah, do you think money grows on a tree?" And you're like, that also gets embedded. So one thing to realize is all these causes have been given to your mind, and the mind just keeps, as a sponge, keeps it there. And when you're in your adult life, you are making those decisions. Any decision in life you are making from that subconscious moment of when you were a child, because when the mind, because you don't know what the future holds, but your mind also just knows the past. So when you're making a decision, it looks at the past, and like a computer, it just tells you the result that would happen if you do this. And what happens is, whatever your belief system is from coming embedded in you, that's the only thing it will show you to go forward. And this is where we have to now change that belief system. And it's not easily done. It's something people have to work on, but it is achievable with discipline. And I'll say with hard work and discipline. I'm a firm believer of discipline. So in terms of, you decide to do something, you take action, and then you follow through. And this is where then I come in, where I hold you accountable for when I speak to you next time. So did you manage to do this? If you didn't manage to do what we discussed last time, we don't move forward. We still stay where we are, because I work with where you are now. We're not going to move forward until we've, achieved that goal that we set up at the beginning, or as we are moving forward and the goals were set up. And that's where we are.
As do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
Yes and no at the same time.
Okay. Do you want to explain that?
Yes. So the spiritual side of things, right, for me was that I'm a very humble person. At the same time, even though I love making money and I don't chase money, but I like to have all the nice things. I like the luxuries in the life and everything. I love to have all the expensive stuff that I can get. So some people might look at that and think, "Oh, right, he's a materialistic person." But then I actually say, "No, I can afford it, so why not get it?"
That was my question, because many people think about spiritual people who don't. They're not concerned about money, or they don't want money, and they can't see both together, spirituality and money. So, what's your view on that? Do you still?
Yeah. So exactly. That's what happens, right? If you meet a spiritual person, they're like completely on that side and saying, "We don't need money. We don't need this. Everything is happening." And then when you ask them the question, right? So you are living in a house. You have to pay rent. You have to pay mortgage, whatever it is, right? But yeah. That's fine. We have to do okay. But you need to get a job to pay all this, or do something to get that money to do this, right? So I always say, I'm not saying that you need to not chase the money and run after it. No, you can still be a spiritual person, but
and love money.
And make lots of money, because the money is out there. It's in abundance. It's all in the mindset, right? So that's how I am. So my spirituality is that I am very humble in terms of when it comes to money as well, when it comes to my living standards. But I say that, but I also like luxuries in life, because I've been fortunate enough to make money whilst I was working in my corporate side of world, and now I'm still flourishing on that. So how I say is, you only get one life, right? Use it or lose it. So if I'm here using it, right, I'll have the money. Why should I not buy all this stuff? Because I'm not going to take it with me anywhere. Just give it away.
Yeah, my reasoning is, if we are spiritual beings, right, and so we believe in, either we call it God, or all that is, or the creative energy, why would that energy or God not want us to have money and enjoy the experience we can have with money? I don't see why. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, it's really interesting discussion around money, and also from a spiritual point of view. Money is related with the first chakras, probably the second one, and so it's energy, right? Money is energy, and it's also related with creative energy. So if we are creative beings, why couldn't we create, or at least be open to receive the energy of money? So it's really interesting discussion around money, because I think that's, in my opinion, that's really connected as well with empowerment, and how, I think it's related with our own power.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, and this is where I said, my spirituality is not that deep as what your knowledge is. But my spirituality is that, okay. So my spirituality is like, in terms of, I know I need to be a humble person. I know I need to be kind to everybody. I know, I need to help others. I know I need to look after myself. Things like that. So what I do is, I'm able to realize those things. So when I have, and a lot of people, when it comes to spirituality and money, again, it's a mindset, right? So they think when you have lots of money, you become an evil person, you become greedy, you become something else. No, you don't. That's what it does is money is just a piece of paper which the
Yeah.
government has given it a value, and that's what it is. It's actually worth nothing. It's just a piece of paper. It's just been given a value from the government, and that's what you think it's worth now, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, if the government decides that 50-pound note you're holding is worth nothing, you have nothing, right? Even though
Yeah.
you've had lots of money, that paper is not worth anything if the economy falls. Um, and this is where if you settle your mind with that, that is just a piece of paper, and I am being used as a vessel that is coming to me to go where it needs to go, right? And whilst I'm doing this, I am also going to look after myself with the money I'm receiving, right? So with that mindset, I can guarantee that you will never be short of money. You will have abundance of money because of that mindset. Because you are not chasing it, you will see the money coming in every time, and you will have a foresight of what's happening. Obviously, the planning is involved in there, and this is what one of my courses involve is designing your life, your own life. So this is where you are designing. You're sitting down, you're mapping out your 90 days, you're mapping out your 5 years, what it is. You might not follow it to 100%, but at least if you know what it looks like, you would know where the bumps would be, where would not be, So it's the same, say, when you taking a plane to your destination for a holiday, you're just getting onto it. Imagine if now there was a pilot who did not actually know how to get to your destination, and he's would you still sit on that plane? You're not. You're gonna get off the plane straight away, right? If he just comes, all right, guys, we're gonna be taking off. I don't know the correct route now. I've been told to change the route, so I'm gonna do it whilst we're in the air. And you're like, no, I don't want to be in the air, and you deciding what way to turn.
Well,
So that's how I look at it, right? So plan your route where your life is gonna be.
Yeah.
90 days, and then 5 years, and celebrate everything on the way. So the planes, a lot of time when the turbulence hits, right, it goes off course, and that's what happens to life. Your life goes off course because life comes in the way, and various different things happen, which might be out of control. But as soon as you are able to take control of your life, bring your plane back, and go back to that journey. And that's what the pilot does, right? When he's puts that light on saying, oh, there's turbulence, we don't know that he's actually gone off course to avoid that turbulence. Even though you're going through it, he has to go a little bit off course, and then he brings the plane back on track to get where we are going. And sometimes that's how we are reaching our destination, maybe 15 minutes early, 10 minutes early, which is very rare. Usually you end up late, but sometimes I've been lucky enough to reach to destinations like 15 minutes early. And I was like, wow, so it's all down to the pilot, right? Because he knows the route, he's planned it out, he's just not turned up and start flying.
Absolutely. And if you are watching this live, if you have any questions for us, for Zishan, just comment below. And let us.
I can't see I can't see the questions clearly, but I am trying to look on. So from time to time I'll be pointing here. It's just because I'm looking at the comments on my MacBook.
So, Zishan, for someone who is on this journey and maybe isn't sure where to go or what to do to change their life, how can they unlock their inner power? Can you give us a few steps to start with?
So the few steps that I would suggest is to sit down first and write down a 90-day plan. So 90-day is just 3 months, and that's the shortest thing you should be able to plan, right? And that is only to do like with your money and spiritual side of things, right? So you can look at it and you see, right, these are my beliefs in terms of where I stand with spiritual things, but it's good to have some money where that I don't have to worry about it, right? So we're not saying turn greedy and all that stuff, right? You're getting something, but what if you can get more whilst you are still living the life you are able to do? sit down and put that 90-day plan. But if you are now sitting down and you struggle with that 90-day plan, drop me a PM or DM, which wherever you contact me from, and then we can have a discovery call, which is around 45 minutes to an hour, and we can discuss where you want to see yourself, what you want to do, and to build that. But it's all to do with the mindset, to where you want to be first. That you need to be clear with that, where you want to be. And a lot of people I speak to are not 100% clear where they want to be, or they're not clear on what their purpose is of the life. And I usually say, if you sit down and start designing your life, everything then becomes clearer, because you are now putting that pen to the paper. If it's all here, it doesn't do anything, right? I've got stuff on the computer. Yes, it's on the computer. Until I turn it on and look at it, it's not going to do anything. It stays there, right? So that's how I use it. So it's in your computer. It's not going to do anything. You need to bring it out, put it down in a pen and paper. You need to see it, and also you need to be it.
What happens as well is that sometimes when we start to take steps, then things start to get clear. So maybe we're not clear in the beginning, but we start to take small steps and things start to get clear. So Curiosity Val said, how would you generally link empowerment with financial awareness? I don't know if you answered already that, or if you want to add it.
I think...
There we go.
Oh my God. My phone was... My phone was, there's somebody trying to reach out to me here at the same time. So I was trying to get rid of that notification. Let me mute this. Trying to get rid of that notification. And then this lady went as well. Okay. Apologies, guys. Apologies. No, I'm back to that question. Right. So empowerment with financial awareness, right? A lot of that has already been covered in terms of how you can become aware of the finances, right? It's to do with the mindset that we talked about at the beginning, the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset. And that's where the empowerment comes in, is to get rid of that scarcity mindset, that there will never be enough, you each for their own, and all, if you've been listening to these things, of course, that's what you're going to be thinking of. And, that is the default out there as well, because I know from my corporate days that was it. That was the talk in the room every time. Each for their own. You need to go and grab it. If you're not doing it, you're not good, and all that stuff. So to do that, they're doing that. So that's the scarcity mindset. You're just chasing it. So we have to change the mindset into abundance mindset, while there's enough to go around. Everybody has it's enough for everybody, and that's the mindset that we have to work with, and that which was discussed at the beginning. And that's where the empowerment would come in. Every individual is different, so I tend to not put in one glove that fits everybody. But the general idea is behind the scarcity and abundance mindset, right? And we work with that to empower you to the financial side of things, because your financial might be different to the other person.
Absolutely. So we have a final question. Generally, a person on a spiritual journey would not naturally seek financial freedom or be concerned thereof. How would you link these two paths?
Okay, so it's actually a very good question, and I actually wanted to now. So this is something that I have in my mind as well. And Val, this is a brilliant question, because the journey you are talking about, that journey is a very deep level journey for a spiritual person, right? And everybody in my family knows that at one point I would be taking that journey as well, because I am connected to myself in a deeper level. But at the moment, what's important to me is to make sure that my family is looked after, and they have enough. So if I now go to this spiritual journey, which is then disconnecting from the world, right? Go to the Himalayas, be a monk, right? That's what Jay Shetty did. That's what quite a lot of my inspirational people did, and that is a journey that I would like to take as well. But that's a different journey then. So they would not never be concerned with money. Yes, that's a different journey. But if there is a person who's in the middle of spiritual, and then they have to decide which one they want to go forward with in terms of deeper level, right? So you can keep both as a balance. But now if you decide, no, I need to know up my spiritual side of things, I need to disconnect, take time out, become spend some time with the monks, learn their things, or do things, you then have to take that. But I always advise, make sure that your links behind you, who are people dependent on you, are look after first. So that's where the money would be the concern. So make sure there is that before you do those things, because we all have somebody who is linked to us who gets affected by our decisions. And this is where my formula of designing your life comes along, right? So this is where you're designing yourself in 5 years. You might be able to do that spiritual journey in 5 years and come back and become Jay Shetty. Who knows?
Yeah, but what I wanted to add, even Jay Shetty, he had this journey, but now he's in business. So we know many people who still are on a spiritual journey and have business, and have big business, and are making a lot of money. So what I see is that we have a lot of people, models that have big business, are doing this not necessarily about the money. They are helping people that are making money. So in my experience, when you have that, when you go on a spiritual journey and you have that, you are kind of awakening and going through the journey, maybe in the beginning you don't connect with money. That's not important. But I think there is a point where you start to integrate both, and you can absolutely integrate both. And I think, yes, I think that the things are changing, but there's still a vision that, spiritual person doesn't have money, does not concern about money, and a business person who's not spiritual. Although I don't think that, I think there's now more of a mixture, and you start to see more spiritual people making money, having business, talking about money. Yes. So, do you want to add something to that?
No, I agree 100%. So you pretty much, articulated it exactly what I was saying earlier as well. So which is, correct. You decide what is important to you as a journey first, and you take that action of what you want to do next, right? It's all dependent on that.
Yeah. So I think there was. So Val says, yes, financial footing and freedom first for loved ones, then take the journey. Yes. How have you gone about doing that, Isabel Gondar? How do you go about linking your journey and financial abundance? Yes. So from my that was my personal experience. In the beginning, I wasn't concerned at all about money. But then, we all need money to survive and to take care of us and our family. And that's really important, because I also believe that if you don't have enough money and you are worried about your safety and security, you're not helping anyone. And I don't believe that the Creator or God or all that is ever wanted us to not have enough money to enjoy life. So I believe that, like you said, money is available out there for everyone, and we have to empower ourselves by changing the mindset around the money as well. Zishan, how can people connect with you?
So they can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram as well. So the Facebook and Instagram handle is I am Zishan Official. And I'm also on LinkedIn as well for my corporate buddies who are workaholics, and and they and for the people who are stuck in 9 to 5 and want to change, I've been also helping them as well to see what they can have. I'm not going to tell them to design a freedom lifestyle, but it's a case of, right, what do you actually want, right? Because everybody sits there and says, you know, I don't really like this, I don't really like this, but they do nothing about it, right? And that's where then I help those guys as well. So I'm on LinkedIn as well, under the name of myself, so Zishan Khan. If people are on LinkedIn, they can reach out to me there as well.
Fantastic. And you have your program coming up as well?
Yeah, so I've got a program coming up which will be a 10-step. So it's a 10-week program, which I'm launching in a couple of weeks' time. But I will be doing a workshop before that, so people can get a taster of it. It will be a free workshop in a week's time, and then from there they can decide if they wish to go for it. But in that workshop, they will get to design their design their own life, and also see what they can do in terms of health, right? So also I've got Val, who's helping me on that to design health benefits as well. So it's going to be a complete transformation at the end. So you will walk away with a reframe of your mind in terms of abundance from scarcity. Also having health benefits in terms of what you can do by just being home, because we know post COVID now, even though the gyms are open, me being the extra cautious person, I'm still not comfortable with going to the gyms. No matter how people say it's cleaner, but I'm just like, no, I don't think so. For those people, so what can you do by just at home and utilizing the space you have at home, the stuff you had at home, your sofas, your water bottles, your milk bottle, that can be used as waste and things like that. So what can you do? Your tins of tomato soups and things like that, who knows? So Val's helping me to develop that as well. So we will be a joint venture of that workshop. So you will end up having some, health transformation with the mindset transformation. So you will walk out having a abundance mindset with a health mindset change as well, with a healthy lifestyle.
Big stuff, big transformations. Zishan, I really appreciate your time and you sharing your knowledge and your journey with us. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you everybody who was on the live today.
Thank you everybody for watching, and thank you Isabel for inviting me. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks so much. We will stay in touch. Bye for now, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.